Doc, come on. Just give it to me straight, all right?
I'm not sure you're prepared for this diagnosis.
I'm ready. Just go on.
To be quite frank, I haven't seen anything like this in my entire medical career.
What's it called?
We have a code 666.
Mother, man.
Back. I got another episode of 666 Seconds of Murder. This video will be less than 666 seconds or 11 minutes and 6 seconds, or it's free. So hang on for a true crime white knuckle trip with me today. Today I'm wearing a shirt to support the Painted Wraith Oddity Shop in Bloomington, Illinois. They have a new Teespring store with some great t-shirts and mugs and all kinds of cool stuff with their artwork on it. And I'll link to it in the episode description. Really, really good stuff. Now, I hope you all recognize Memorial Day and had a good one and had a nice relaxing time with maybe some friends and family. Time to reflect on those that have paid the ultimate price for us to have our freedom. Very important. And if you didn't celebrate for whatever the reason may be, I hope you also had a good weekend yourself and have an enjoyable rest of your weekend, since most people are off on Monday. Now, I'm sure some of you following the case of the Idaho 4 have heard about the strange Venmo payments between the players in the Idaho 4. It's something that has always bothered me. In the case full of just strange things and oddities, coincidences, lines drawn in the sand with people taking sides, this is one of many pieces of that strange puzzle. Now, if you're not clear of what Venmo is, it's an app that people use to pay each other, basically, like Cash App or PayPal. There's many of them out there. It was very popular among many of the students that went to the University of Idaho at that time when the crimes happened, especially the students that we have talked about in this case as we've been reviewing it here on this channel. Now, one strange thing about Venmo activity that day and night before the crimes was the repeated amount of $6 payments. I mean, why that specific amount? Why would there be multiple payments for that? Not $5 or $10, but $6. Maybe they were listening to the Murder Metal Mayhem podcast at the time. I don't know, but it seems a little weird. Now, with the idea of a quadruple homicide going down only hours to minutes before this flurry of activity happening, I think it's fair to assume there could be a common thread here. I mean, even Ethan made a Venmo payment that night to, I think, his friend Jack Katovich. So very, very strange. And I think most reasonable people would at least give an eye to this and look at this and see that maybe there was some similarities or continuity between the two ideas. Now, last year, I posted a video about the possibility there were multiple people watching some sort of fight club that maybe could have spilled over into the slayings at 1122 King Road. And I caught some flack. There were many, though, that believed in what I was saying and thought it could be true. And there's channels out there, I've mentioned them many times, Huda London, Bubbly Waters, that have posed these same concerns. Now, I pointed out at the Grub Truck video just after 2 a.m., after Maddie and Kaylee got picked up by old Eric Gower on the way to their execution, there was a small crowd of students huddled together watching something on their phones. They were cheering and yelling. They actually chanted Xana's name as if they were watching some sort of fight. And to consider what they might have been actually seeing freaks me out a little bit. It's like a Lord of the Flies moment. Now, one of the strange Venmo payments was a sorority girl named Molly Gray. She added a memo to her Venmo payment to Liz Katovich, which simply read 3:30 a.m. Now, this payment was made the day before on November 12th of 2022. So what did the 3:30 reference mean? Was it a prediction? Was it like a wager for what time she thought something might happen? Or something else entirely different? I mean, it's just kind of creepy nonetheless. Just a few hours before this happens. Weird. Now, the fact that Liz Katovich was was the one that the payment was made to adds to the mystery. So who is Liz? Well, she is the sister of Jack Katovich. He's the third Jack of the Idaho 4 story, and often an overlooked one. But if you recall, he was the one who spoke at the Idaho 4 memorial service and made the first donation to Ethan's memorial in the amount of $6. Again, so odd. Now, you want another odd thing about Jack Katovich? Well, he was really good friends with Ethan and a fellow Sigma Chi fraternity brother. So you would assume the day after this happened, he would have just been a wreck. Allegedly, though, on Monday, the day following the crimes, Jack tweeted out, "Best weekend ever." Now, that's disturbing, no matter what the context might be. Now, does this mean that I believe Jack and Liz Katovich had something to do with the Idaho 4 crimes? No. Yet, the fact that they were both in the fraternities and sororities with the victims is really a reason to look a little closer at these organizations that are just so intertwined. Now, I'm not an idiot. I get how money works to keep people from digging into your past and looking in your direction, but Grub Truck is responsible for 75% of the donations that come into the University of Idaho every year. The school does not want to rock the boat, despite the fact these organizations are frequently in trouble and on probation for questionable acts involving hazing and dangerous amounts of alcohol consumption. It's amazing that 50% of men who are in fraternities leave school with an addiction to either alcohol or other party favors. Why are they even allowed to operate is really a disgusting show of money trumps all. Safety of the students be damned. And beyond the Grub Truck video feed is the Moscow PD Banfield video. In my opinion, this video was filmed at the same time as part 2 of the crimes was happening and merely 50 yards away. I believe this was when the third floor attacks were happening. Then at 3:12 a.m., we see 4 figures running from the house toward Sigma Chi. Very, very interesting. Now, I'm not sure who Ann Taylor believes are the alternate suspects, but my vote would be to go check out Greek Row with a darn good magnifying glass. There is just too much weird behavior and a sordid history of the things that they've had their hands in at the University of Idaho. Now, I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about this one. So drop a comment below. It helps keep the channel growing, and and gets the video out there to more people, and it doesn't cost a thing. Do you like reading dark and creepy stuff? Well, check out PeteAltieri.com for my writing samples, a bookstore. You can purchase books if you like. And big thanks to all the members of the Horns High Club. You guys are amazing. I appreciate all of you who follow this channel. And without you, this just wouldn't be possible. Now, please don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. And leave a comment. And I'll see you next time.